Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of our Cash or Trash series. And I am not ready to go. I just realized I forgot to ever do that. So yeah, hang on one second. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I wanted to go into the background for just a second. Okay, so hey, I'm Ruley and Cameron D. What's going on? All cash on this week's list. There's a lot of cash on this week's list. It is a very good list. Before I get into that, I'm going to just say a brief thing, and I'll actually talk about this more tonight on my Sunday night whatever show. My thoughts and prayers are with Comic Jabroni's family and all those that knew Edwin way better than I did. I felt the loss yesterday, and I didn't have the pleasure of knowing him as well as I wish I had of. So thoughts and prayers are with all you guys. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that kind of stuff this evening. Love you all, you guys. I want to thank you for hanging out. And yeah, so we'll go through this week's list. I almost didn't do this today, I'll be honest. And then I decided, yeah, I'll go on and do it. All right. Like I said, we'll talk about that more this evening. On my little whatever show. So yeah, I think I love signed comics. When I seen the post yesterday, I was just like, wait, what? That can't be right. So with that, let me shout out you guys that are hanging out with me because I appreciate it. We got the Unruly Simeon, we got Cameron D in the house. What's going on? Scott Evans, thank you for joining me. Magic Lasso. I love signed comics. Comic Books NYC Covey, what's going on, my friends? I think it's everybody that's popped in the chat, at least in the StreamYard chat, at least so far. So I'm sure there's probably 5 or 6 of you in the YouTube chat I haven't seen yet. Dreadnoks, what's going on? All right, so talked about that briefly at the beginning. This was actually like between the two lists, there's quite a bit of quality this week, which was a little surprising. House to the End, what's going on? So we're going to dig into it and get this over with. Mr. Bear Island, I hope your vacation was good. I'm assuming you probably have to go back next week or tomorrow, but I hope you had a good vacation, sir. And yeah, so with that, let's do this. Let's mock some comic books. Actually, there won't be much mocking this week, I'll be perfectly honest. So, all right, first up, we got Tron #1. I don't even remember who was the printer on this. SLG? Yeah, I don't even know for sure. But Tron #1. And this hit the list because there was news this week that Tron 3 or a third Tron movie is in production. Supposedly Jared Leto is going to be a part of this one. Which, I don't know. We haven't seen Morbius yet, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Jared Leto, but we'll see. And this went from a cover price book to a $25 to $30 book. I think this is a trap. Supposedly they're going to start moving toward it. It's going to be a while, which means it's going to drop back, which means you can get it for less. Yeah. Never buy on the news. Wait till the lull between the news and something actually happens. 2 horrible movies automatically in the comic section. I remember the second one was not very good. The first one I haven't seen in so long. I saw it when I was a kid and I remember liking it, but I no idea if it was actually any good because I haven't seen it in forever. So it probably wasn't that good because I had never had a desire to go back and watch it. So, but yeah, to me, this is a trap. Next book on the list is Riptide #1. This thing has been on and off this list 4 to 5 times over the 18 to 20 months I've been doing this, probably. It's optioned. Everybody buys it. Nothing happens. Everybody stops buying it. It becomes a $1 bin or a cover price book. Oh, no, they're going to do something. It becomes a $20 book. Oh, then nothing happens and it falls off to nowhere. Well, there was movie rumors again this week. And as a result, it's back to a $10 to $15 book. 9.8 went for $140 this week. Call me when they actually make a movie instead of just talking about it. I think the first Tron was, just we'll backtrack for a second, was more about the visuals than anything else than the thing. I think unreally sums this up for Riptide. Yeah, this is a trap again that people keep falling for. Next, the last of our kind of option TV movie non-Marvel DC category is Reborn #1. This is Sandra Bullock is attached to. I'm not sure, the way I've heard it talked about that it was going to be a Netflix movie, and then I've heard it's a Netflix series. I think it's a series. This is part of the Millar verse that they keep talking about making it Netflix and have never like produced anything. I've heard great things about this book, and but I've never read it. So, but this one jumped up a 3,000% increase in sales. It's going $15. A 9.8 went for 300 that Tom pointed out, but it was also a signature series, which so maybe like 200 for a regular 9.8, if that. I didn't have a chance to look this morning. I'll be honest. I wasn't that energetic to see what actual 9.8 of this were going for that weren't signature series. I think this is an I'll be back because this strikes me as something that's going to happen. There's been enough smoke here. I think this is probably going to happen. I've heard really good things about it. At $15, I don't know if it's even an I'll be back. Maybe just go get it at $15. But this one strikes me as being a little more of a quality investment if you're getting it at $15, because I think it has a shot to be like actually be made. It's supposedly a good story. That's just my thought. Unruly says about 125 for a 9.8 is what I'm guessing that means. This one is. There you go. Yeah, they hired a new writer. That's why like the buzz is back again, because this one's been on and off the list a couple times too. But at 10, like I said, 10 to 15, or $15. I don't think this. I think this is an I'll be back or just go for it at this point. Next up is Dark Knight Metal, or it's Dark Knight's Death Metal #3, the Federici variant with Robin King on the cover, and it's a cool cover. This is our only true just cover of the week, and it's going for $20 to $25. This was not limited, but they didn't put out the image until after FOC, so people didn't know to necessarily buy it. But here's the thing. It's not Robin King's first appearance. It's not his first cover. It's a cool one, but I don't know. Where's the first? Where's the driving? I mean, I realize other cool covers go for good value. We don't know much about this character yet. I feel like at $20 or $25 right out the gate, that seems a little ridiculous to me. Pre-sales are going for $120. I think this is a trap. This is me personally. I haven't been reading this. Maybe this is really good. I feel like this is all DC's going in on right now is Joker War and Death Metal. Everything else DC's getting the heck away from, which is a little disappointing. Because they're a mess at the moment. But so maybe this is a mistake, but maybe it's just fatigue on this whole Batman Who Laughs everything for me. But I see this as, not a great investment at that. Great cover, zero interest to me. There's Unruly. VV, what's going on, Varangian? It's the best cover. It is a really cool cover. I won't argue that. And a cool cover at 20 to 25 is not out of the realms of possibility. I have my doubts about the long-lasting use of any of these other than the Batman Who Laughs himself. Because you remember, they introduced a whole bunch of versions of these during the first event. Batman Who Laughs was the only one that caught on or mattered. They introduced, what was it, the Punisher version. I don't remember what the heck they called him during the Batman Who Laughs series. I can't even remember what the dude's name was. It was like Punisher Batman. He hasn't amounted to anything. They're also like the one that's supposedly the main villain of this whole thing is this Darkest Night character, which we also don't know anything about. So maybe Robin King catches on and becomes something. I just have serious doubts about that. Grim Knight, there it is. Unreally can remember. If you got it for cover, if you got it, great, good for you. It's a cool book. I don't think I'd be paying $25 for it. That's just me. I think $25 is a trap, which means 6 months from now it'll be $50, $60. All right, next up, we're moving into Comic Buzz, which I threw a whole bunch of stuff in to Comic Buzz this week. And this first one, well, this is straight cash, homie. This is the second print. This is TMNT #1, the second print. Basically, raw copies have jumped up to like $1,500 for this. But here was the thing that Tom and I were talking about. The reason I hit the list more than anything was on July 20th, a 9.4 sold for $21.25 on eBay. On August 10th, a 7.0 sold for $21.25 on eBay. And this just goes with all the Turtle books. Like I've been talking to Kavi and some other people, like just about in general. And the Turtle books, first print is jumping up right now. Everything Turtle related. That Casey Jones book's been on the list the last couple of weeks. Everything Turtle related is going up right now. And this one is no exception. Yeah, I get that. So this second print, which was kind of always felt like was the underappreciated print. Like everybody was first print, or you wanted it third print, or because you could afford it, or what, I just felt like this was kind of the underappreciated of the prints, maybe slightly. I don't know. But anyway, this one is now jumping up in value quite a bit, and it's a Turtles one. That's, even if it's a second print, that's cash. Now this Turtles book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #104. This Garing 1 in 10 variant that we talked about last week or the week before. I don't remember which week it was on here. That last week, and everybody is speccing that the turtle scene here is the first cover appearance of The Last Ronin, which is the series that we get that's coming up. Because this turtle has all 4 weapons. We don't know that yet. People are paying. This last week, this book was going for, had hit 20 and was jumping up toward $40, $50. This week, this thing is going for $100 to $120 for this. We don't even know if this is related in any way. It's just a cover with one turtle with all the weapons to The Last Ronin. We don't know which turtle that's going to be. Are you kidding me? $100 for this? This is, yeah. Anyway, I haven't been using any of my visuals today. I'm a little not fully with it. My apologies. Yeah. No, I'm not paying $120 for a random cover that maybe has something to do with The Last Ronin. And we don't even know if The Last Ronin's any good. I'm assuming it's going to be because Turtle stuff has been good lately. But come on. Hey, Fuchsia, what's going on? Yeah, I don't get why we're paying $100 for it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Next, one I didn't even realize was going on. I actually have this, and I have those Peach Momoko Harley Quinn variants of this, but this is Batman Adventures Continue #2. And this is the first appearance of Sunny, a protege of Deathstroke. Her first appearance in comics, so she's part of this run. And basically she's working with Deathstroke, not his daughter, some sort of protege. And it's got this book going for $20 consistently and a high of $40. We have no idea if this character is going to become anything either. I feel like this is a trap. She's being introduced in this Batman the animated version of the universe. We've had some characters cross over from that and amount to something. I've read this story so far. Unless they're going to really change where they're going, the trajectory, I don't see her amounting to much. Hey, Jay Bonilla, what's going on, man? Jay Hood is in the house. Thank you for joining me and hanging out with us today. Yeah, I just feel like this is a trap because I've read this And so far, she just seems generic henchman support character. I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet. She's not in the main comic universe. Maybe there's something here, but I think $40 for sure is a trap to me. I think it's way premature to be paying $40 for her first appearance. People are paying. Yeah, I think that's nuts. All right, what do we got? What do we got next? Scroll over here. Thor, God of Thunder. Number, which number is this? I don't even remember. 6. No, I did write it down. Okay. This is everything Null. This is the cameo, supposedly cameo of Null. I forget what they categorize this as now. But in this book, a 9.6 sold for $325, between $300 and has been going for $325 to $350 this week, which is what 9.8s were going for last month. Everything Null is stupid right now. Like the hype behind this character is, yeah, this is Null and Gore. This isn't Gore's first appearance, though, is it? I forget. They were talking about it in reference to Null. Everything around this is just crazy right now. So it is a double dipper. Okay. So I couldn't remember. I'll be honest, this morning when I was looking at this, I was just like, really? So to me, yeah, this whole Donny Cates obsession right now is crazy. I think once we get past the King in Black series and we get away from this, I think all of these books are going to come back to earth a little bit. Maybe not a ton. Maybe it's great. Maybe they keep going, but I don't think they're going to keep going that much. I think at this stage, this is an I'll be back. I think it's a good book because it is a double dip and they're characters that I think are going to continue to get used, but I think it's an I'll be back. Hey, Ruben, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you as well. So it's Null's origin. It's not his first appearance. That's right. Okay. And then let's see what else we got here. How far am I in? Okay, next up. Oh, Immortal Hulk number 2, the 4th print. So Immortal Hulk number 2 went crazy year and a half ago, whatever it was. Because the first appearance of Dr. Fry, who was a character from the TV show, first appearance in comics, people went crazy for it. They remembered it. They loved it because it reminded them of the TV show. And it was the first and 5th prints, I think, that went nuts. This is the 4th print, and this is jumping up because I guess the character here that's seen here is not Dr. Fry, but supposed to be Dr. Fry's son that you see is actually on this cover. And he is supposedly in the solicitations for coming back to the series. Dr. Fry's son is supposedly coming back, which means probably Dr. Fry is coming back as well. As a result, this book is jumped from to $30 plus. Yeah, it's jumped up to $30. 9.8s are still only going for $60, which is, yeah, but this is a 4th print. But he's on the cover, or something is on the cover that I guess is supposed to be this kid. This whole Dr. Fry thing, I think, is a trap. We jump on way too many villains right now. Like, not all of these villains are going to matter. Think about how many villains actually matter from the history of comics. And we're thinking Null and Black Winter and Dr. Fry and all these characters that all Robin King, and that we're spending big bucks on right out of the gate. And I realized this has been around for 2 years, but the character has been used for 2 years. He appeared and then he disappeared. And then supposedly he's coming back. To me, these are traps. I think we're nuts. As a comic community, I think we're nuts. It's a straight trash. Okay, it's the retcon cameo of Null Gore origin. That's right. Okay, yeah, I can never remember what the heck the deal was with 6. Yeah, okay. It's a 4. I know how Unruly feels about prints. Well, get ready, Unruly, because the next book is another friggin' 3rd print, not 4th. World Realms, New Agents of Atlas, the 3rd print. And this book has a bunch of first appearances in it First appearance of Wave, Luna Snow, Blade Master, Sword Master, I forget. There's a couple others. And this was, everybody was after the first cover, and then there was a variant that everybody wanted and that kind of stuff. Well, this to me is straight, pure, easy manipulation of the market because people are dumb. Nobody cared about this third print. Nobody. This was cover price all day long. Key collector, there's been no news about any of these characters specifically being used for anything new or anything else right now. Key collector put out an alert that, oh, we've discovered the print run on the third print was less than 2,000 books, like around 1,500 books. And this is a $45 to $60 book. Come on. It's a third print. The character, she's on the other covers. Like the character, like it's not her first cover. Are you friggin' kidding me? It's a third. Who cares if the third print is low? Just because it's limited doesn't mean it's valuable. I do not understand. And maybe I'm just old and crotchety and stuck in my ways. I do not understand the current craze over these limited second and third prints, which to me are reprints. They're coming out months later. It's no different than a reprint of facsimile of Hulk 181 that came out last year. They're reprints. Okay, it's a reprint that came sooner, but I'm not, just because it's limited doesn't mean I'm paying crazy bucks. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is absolutely, here, wait. This is, come on. What is wrong with us? What are we spending our money on? Oh, it's a dumpster fire. It is. I stand by it. All right, we'll move on to more interesting thing. And really, almost the whole rest of the bottom of this list is pretty darn good, except for maybe one book. Next is Ultimate Comics SpiderMan, the 1 in 15 Pincelli variant. This is the second appearance of Miles. As we all know, Ultimate Fallout 4 has went through the roof. So now people are chasing this book and its variants. Yeah. Oh, I got a heresy and a preach. Oh, there you go. I must be hitting the mark. I'm getting both ends. Okay, Swordmaster is number 2. I couldn't remember which one. There's several characters that were there, but thank you for clearing that up. Preview to your future. I don't know that I remember Preview to your future being in here before, but thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, and same for you. Even if Rakist, if I mispronounced that, I apologize. I'm not sure. Rakist, saying heresy because it's all about the reprint, about the second and third prints. I do think I agree. So I'm going to drop this out for a second because I'm going to talk about the second and third print thing for just another second. I understand, like, when they're different covers. That I get more than anything else. I understand, especially when the character, like one we're going to talk about in a minute, appears on the second print and they weren't on the original. Sorry, I'm getting dry. That I get. And I get that they can be limited and interesting. But, like, right now, another book we're talking about, I should just get to them, but, like, the only difference is the color of the bar where the Marvel and stuff is blue instead of red, and it's going for way more, and I don't understand it. I don't understand that. But it's become a big driver in the market, so I guess I need to, like, get on board. There ain't no, Unruly says this correctly. There's no right way to say it. If you want the second print, I get it. I don't understand it yet. And like I said, maybe I'm just old and crotchety. So wouldn't be the first time I've been accused of that. So, all right, back to Miles. So yeah, all these Miles books have been going crazy. To me, these books are straight cash at this point. I don't think they're ever coming down significantly. I do think there's going to, I don't think the current trajectory is sustainable for models. Look, I think it's going to level out, and I think it'll probably come back a little bit at some point. I don't know where that level out point is, though. I'll be perfectly honest. I felt like we were approaching it, and I think we have approached it for like Ultimate Fallout 4 and some of that. But these secondary, like the second appearance and some of these covers that are still going strong, like, I don't know where the level out point is on this. At this point, like, it's going, what do we say? Like, a Raw went for $500 this week, and this is a 1 in 15. 9.0 sold for $325. Like, I feel like we got to be approaching it. I feel like we're getting beyond like what's going to be the ceiling, and then it's going to kind of like, you know, it'll go up and do this to the crest, and then it'll settle somewhere slightly below for a while until he actually like really comes into the MCU or something. But I don't know that I don't know. We might still be on the trajectory up. I don't know. Yeah. There you go. That's right. So supply and demand. New character cover, first or second origin in the guts. Yeah. He's not wrong. You're not wrong, preview. You were not wrong. So I'm gonna stick with this being straight cash. I think we're not quite there yet. Like, I think it's still probably got a little bit of ceiling, but at some point these are going to start to level out a little bit, I think. Next, where are we at? All right, here's the one I was talking about a minute ago. This is all new Marvel Now, .1, number 1, first appearance of Kamala Khan. This book, 9.8, had jumped up from like 300 something to like 600 and something, and now they're at 950. A 9.6 is going for 350 right now. I think this, we know casting news is coming sometime in the relatively short term. I realize they've pushed the show back because they've pushed everything back, and they're probably not going to cast this girl till they're getting close to actually filming, because they don't want her to age too fast, because they want teenage Kamala Khan. So I think there is, but I think this is straight cash. I don't think this is, whereas I think like Ultimate Fallout 4 is kind of crested for now. I don't think this book is crested yet. I think this one has still got some room. I do not understand why the second print with the blue, I realize there's maybe a fewer of them, but I would rather have the first print. I don't understand why the second print with the blue is going for almost like significantly more, but it is. Because raw copies of it going for like $350, $400 the last I looked, whereas raw copies of this were going for $120, $150. I'm glad I sent mine to CGC. I'm glad I got it before this happened. But yeah, so I think this is another one. It hasn't really ever sold well. I agree with that. Hey, there's Super Rust. What's going on, man? I agree with that. Like, I think the Batman Adventures Continue thing was fun, or it's a fun idea, but I don't know that character's got legs, is my point there. This is not the one. No, there's a different one. Okay, so there's like 3 of these. There's an all-new Marvel .1, number 1, which I think is the first other Nova. There's the all-new Marvel Now .1, number 1, which is the first Kamala Khan. And then there's an all-new, all-different Marvel .1, which is, they came out like over a 3 or 4 year period. Like, there was like 14, like 12, 14, 16, or something like that. And that one has nothing in it. So you do need to know which one you're looking at when you look at these. So yeah, the market definitely appears to be shifting that direction. Preview appears to start jumping. Yeah. Yeah. So there's like 3 of these .1 one shots, and you got to know which one you're looking at, because one is the Sam Alexander, one is the Kamala Khan, or Kamala Khan, and then the other one is nothing. So there you go. The one with Nick Fury on the cover is the one that's worthless. There you go. Up the down notes. So, hey, Athletic Style, what's going on? He likes Riri over Kamala. I keep saying that. I don't know. I haven't read much Riri, I'll be honest. I've read a little more of Miss Marvel. I know Miss Marvel's got a show. My guess is Miss Riri's going to there's going to be an Ironheart thing at some point. Hey, Backseat, what's going on? But this book I would consider this book still straight cash. I don't think we've reached the ceiling on this yet, given where we've seen Ultimate Fallout 4 go. I don't think it goes as high as Ultimate Fallout 4, mainly because there's other books, and this is the book. This tends to be the book for this character. This is the second print, another second print of the second cameo. So it's her second cameo, but her first cover is in the second print. Is the first time she appears on the cover. The first time she appears in costume. And yeah, this book had been steady for the last couple of years in the $1,200 to $1,500 range. It's now going for between $3 and $35. This is the book people want because this is her in costume on the cover. This I understand more than some of those other second and third print things. This one I understand why people chase this one, why this has become the book. So yeah, and this is a straight cash book. Oh, so it says their story is not very good. See, nobody ever recommended me reading that one. Everybody recommended I read the Miss Marvel, but not this one. So, previous thing, so difference of opinion there on which one's the better investment. Well, I think Miss Marvel's a better investment right now because we know she's getting the show. We don't know for sure what they're going to do with Riri, but that's just me. You were not wrong, and really, saying $3,500 would get you an FF48 8.0. But that is the nature of the market right now. The market is very much skewed right now. Modern, new characters. Let's be real. Like it's the prices that these modern new characters are going for right now don't make sense relative to some of the Silver Age prices on some books. Silver and Bronze Age first appearances, there is an out of whack, and it's but these are characters that these people are caring about. This is where the spec market has gotten us to a certain degree. You know, some of these characters, that's one of the things that maybe I've struggled with when I try to break this down, even though I've been also doing the list, is that some of these characters, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Some of these villains, there's some villains that have been around for a very long time, been used a bunch, that first appearances aren't worth what Null is going for right now. Characters have been used over and over and over again. Some of that has to do with print run, and how rare the book is. Don't get me wrong, but some of it is just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Null is almost to like Hobgoblin territory. Like, I mean, he's not there yet, but he's close. Which would you rather have? First appearance of Hobgoblin or first appearance of Null? I mean, yeah. Yeah. And there's this too. There's some of these characters are what kids now are, this generation's growing up with, but some of these are still like, I mean, she's only been around for 6 years. So, but yeah, there's a lot going on here. That's the thing that drives me, Fuchsia, is I have a hard time. I have a hard time understanding spending big money for Null that people are spending when we haven't even had his true story yet. We'll see. It is definitely happening in waves up to down. It is definitely happening in the waves. Jaguar says he thinks he'd rather have Null. But we don't know anything about Null. That's my point. Like, we've seen flashes of Null. We don't know if Null is a good character or not. And Kate we trust. But we don't know. We know what the Hobgoblin is. And maybe you're not a big fan of the Hobgoblin, and that's fine. But I just think that's where I think it's just skewed. I think the market is skewed at the moment. I'll be perfectly honest. And I think there will be a correction at some point. I don't know how big that correction will be. anyway, this book is, I think, it's straight cash because of how much Marvel's going to use this girl. So next up is, we're almost to the end. We got 3 books left. VinJets #1. This is the first appearance of America Chavez. As we know, there's rumors continue that she is going to be part of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There is nothing to back this up yet. This is all still just rumors. But this book, raw copies are currently going for $120 on average. Regular, or 9.8 of this, the regular cover, are going for $800. So this is another character. So Miles jumped, Spider-Gwen jumped, Kamala jumped, America Chavez is jumping. There's a bunch of those Star Wars books are jumping. Like, everybody is jumping on these modern introduced characters. They're going through the roof. This one is no exception. And variant on this, running about, the variant cover to this, which I forgot to grab a picture of, is running about $1,700 right now. So, which is about up $1,000 in a month, because it was $700-800 a month ago. I would agree with that. Yeah. Definitely where the money is now. I don't think it'll last. We'll see. We'll see. Bubble is always ready to burst. Maybe. I think some of these books are going to burst. I don't know which ones for sure. Some of them I don't think are, but some of them will. So she is a kind of Captain America type character, but she has her powers, like, let her, I don't know much about this one, but like, have to do with like being able to travel between the multiverse, or would help her with the multiverse and stuff. So she's potentially, that's where it comes into why people think she's going to be in Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. True heroes more likely to stick. Other villains, personally, I prefer investing in villains and become anti-heroes down the line. There you go. All right. Well, we got 2 books left. The first one is, I'm just gonna, where's my banners? Where's my stuff? Okay. Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America, #3. The B cover, where Hawkeye and Hawkeye are on the cover together for the first time, because this is the book where they meet for the first time, even though Hawkeye, Clint Barton, is disguised as Captain America in the book. So she doesn't even know that's who she's meeting. And basically people are specking on it because, this is the first time they meet and we're going to have a show and they're going to meet on the show. So let's spec on this moment. These moment books never last. They never last. And people are paying $15-20 for this right now. This is a trap. People get hyped up about, I got to get the book related to this moment. This isn't even they don't even meet in this book as Hawkeye and Hawkeye. It's, I don't know. I don't see Clint, given that they're giving the shield to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and stuff, Clint being disguised as Captain America when they meet. So yeah, I don't get this one. Well, Unruly, you could pull it off. Yeah. It's like trash. Yeah, it absolutely is. I can't get to the next book. Hang on. Move it up. There we go. And finally, last book of the week, also on the list for the second week in a row, Young Avengers #1. We talked about this last week, that it had, over the last couple of years, this first Kate Bishop, first Hulkling, first Patriot guy. I don't remember what his name is. Hey Rod, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're hanging in there. Thoughts are with you and everybody. So anyway, Young Avengers. I said something at the beginning about everything that happened yesterday, Rod, and I know you're doing a stream here in a little bit, so everybody should hop over there. Rod's doing a stream in about an hour and 15 minutes, I think. This is right now. This is absolutely I do think we'll see. A lot of this will ultimately depend on, I think, how they use Kate Bishop and how good she is in the movies. But I talked about that this book had all the spec on Kate Bishop and everything else had this book bouncing. It'd get up to 350, it'd drop to 250, it'd get up to 350, it'd drop to 250 for a 9.8. Raw copies would get up to 100. They drop down to 50 to 60. They'd get up to 100. They drop to 50 to 60. And it's done this because it hit the list multiple times. And last week it finally broke through and was hitting 400. And I said, given everything that had happened with Miles and Spider-Gwen and Kamala and everything else going on, that I thought this book was going to the next level. I thought that it wasn't, the days of it bouncing in that 350 to 250 range were done. And now it's 500 this week. So it went on, it's still climbing. 9.6 went for 250. Yeah. Raw copies, I think, are like up to 150, somewhere in there, maybe a little more. Yeah, I think this book is still starting its climb. You think about where the Ultimate Fallout 4 went to. I think there's a good chance this book is headed to $1,000. I'd be surprised if this book doesn't hit $1,000 for a 9.8 in the next month. If you get it for 500 and then flip it in a month, yeah, I think you're gonna make money. Yeah, I think this book is headed higher. I really do. Now, long term, I don't know. We'll see. How important does Kate Bishop become? I think she's the one of these characters that has the best chance of truly becoming important. But how important does she become? I don't know. But I think this is headed to be $1,000 book. So yeah, I missed a book somewhere, didn't I? Did I not get it in here? Did it not get ordered? I just skipped over it. I went from Thor to Hulk, and I skipped over it because somebody mentioned it. Yeah, there's strong team spec here too. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that up for a minute. Oh, hey Alex, what's going on? So, and then okay, I'm gonna leave that up though. It's not just Kate. It's true, it's not just Kate. I did skip a book. I didn't aim to. This was supposed to be in the middle. So last book, I lied. Venom number 27, the double cover. So there's two different covers here. This is an air. I'm not a big fan of airs generally anyway. But there's two different covers here. Like the inside cover is different than the outside cover. One is supposed to be like a rare incentive. This book is already going for $500 to $800. And we have but here's my problem with this. We have no idea how many of these there are. No idea. None. And people are paying $500 to $800 for this. Like, would you rather have this air there's a bunch of them on eBay right now. Would you rather have this air, or would you have, like, some people look like one guy had 4 or 5 listings. Like he got 4 or 5 copies that had the air. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. That's a trap all day long. Chasing these air. Most of these airs do not last unless they're truly, truly rare. Yeah. Sorry, I skipped over this one. I just did. But yeah, I think that's a trap. But so that's this week's list. Let's get this out of here. Let me get back to the chat. Comment with you guys a little bit, and then I'm going to get out of here. I agree completely, Alex. Yes, I started the show off with that a little bit. Yes, everybody. My thoughts and prayers are with Edwin's family and those that he was close to in this community. I felt it yesterday, and I really didn't know Edwin as well as I wish I had of. Missed opportunity on my part, and yeah, I regret that. Hey Phil, what's going on? So I know Rod's doing a stream here in a little bit. We love you, Rod. Hang in there, my friend. Everyone that was really affected by that. I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit, Rod. I really do. And yeah, so I'm gonna talk a little bit more about what you guys mean to me tonight on my Sunday thing. I wanted to do this show and kind of just do this show. Yeah. And so I think that sums it up pretty good preview. So more thoughts for Rod. Love you, Rod. Hang in there, man. I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I know he's going to try to do his Sunday thing. You're a very brave person for trying to do that here in a little bit, buddy. And I almost didn't do this show today. I'll be perfectly honest. And then about 10:30, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do the Sunday night thing. And so I'm just going to tonight. I'm not going to. It's a whatever show, so it'll be whatever. But it's mostly probably going to be me. Anybody is welcome to join me tonight on tonight's show. It'll mostly be me just talking about how important this community is to me and letting you guys know what I think and feel about you. So you know. So with that, thoughts and prayers, Ron. Love you, man. And I'm going to get out of here before I break down. So, all right, everybody. Later.